Yo, what's up guys? Fudge here for another week of the CTHBL Season 2. This is my Week 2 matchup against BlueFusion, and I'm just, going to start off the video with a quick team builder. Start by talking about the matchup a little bit, showing you this matchup chart, and talking about the team build that I brought for this game. So, first and foremost, Blue's got a pretty scary team with quite a few threats. Alligator and Flapple are both very scary Dragon Dance sweepers, so really wanted to make sure I had a means to deal with those. Regieleki can get very scary if, I don't have a ground type alive, then it becomes very threatening. Moltres is a very, very solid mon that can either be very good defensively or, pretty respectable offensively as well. The only unfortunate thing about Moltres, I guess, is that it's pretty relegated to running heavy-duty boots. Diancie, especially into my Sandstorm team, is pretty good because it gets that 50% special defense boost if Sandstorm is up from it being a rock type. Muck is a bit of a pain for my team, right? Pretty, honestly, kind of a steal for 10 points in my opinion. Apologize for that notification. But honestly, kind of a steal for 10 points in my opinion. I was looking at picking it up myself, but bulky poison type does pretty good work offensively and defensively. Terra Semipore is not something I really see coming this game. I think Terra Flapple is really going to be his main thing. Steelix, pretty good mon, very physically defensive and can do quite a bit of work on the physical offensive side as well. And Perugly is honestly a pretty good speed tier against me. I'm not sure if he'll bring it, just because I have a lot of normal resistances and an immunity, so we'll see if that comes. And then Poipole, realistically, I don't think is coming. So yeah, that's Blue's team. As you can see here, how the speed tiers match up. My fastest mon is Pyroar, and his fastest obviously is Regieleki. Regieleki is the fastest mon by 50 base points, I'm pretty sure, in the format, barring maybe Ninjask, and yeah, I think Ninjask is base 160, but otherwise the Electrodes are at 150. So Blue's obviously got the speed tier advantage in pretty much every matchup he plays. But beyond that, Perugly is faster than every mon on my team too, potentially. And Choice Scarfers or mons that have a Dragon Dance setup can get very scary because my team, isn't the fastest in the world. So I got to think of ways to deal with that. So here's what I ended up bringing or building for this match. First and foremost here is Kowalski the Empoleon, holding the red card this week with the competitive ability, max HP, max special attack, Surf, Flash Cannon, Grass Knot, and Endure. This was kind of going to be one of my fail-safes, if Flapple or Alligator started to get scary with a Dragon Dance or two. I could bring in this Empoleon after sacking something and use the combination of Endure if I needed to survive a hit, and the red card to phase that mon out in order to get rid of those stat buffs that they got. So this is kind of my failsafe. In addition, these three moves hit pretty well against this team, so if this Empoleon's allowed to just start clicking attacks, it can dish out some pretty good damage as well. Flygon, definitely one of my win cons this week. Dragon Dance Flygon, in general, just Blue's team has a very hard time dealing with a strong Earthquaker with rock coverage. Pretty sure, if I look at this, everything on his team takes good earthquake damage. Regieleki's weak to it, Diancie's weak to it, Muck's weak to it, Steelix is weak to it. Everything else is neutral, except for Flapple, who resists ground. Not necessarily known to be the tankiest mon in the world, and it can Terra out of its grass type, so may not always resist ground, and even if it does, it doesn't necessarily appreciate it. And the Moltres is his only immunity, which is what Rock Slide is here for, right? So, definitely a very strong win condition that I have bringing to this game. Comfey making its debut this week. Max special attack, max HP, modest nature, right? I don't really need speed because my 2 attacking moves this week, Drain and Kiss and Giga Drain, are given priority by the triage ability, which is awesome. Comfey's holding the heavy duty boots because he's my dedicated hazard remover with defog this week. And Trick Room is here to potentially pull some shenanigans against some of those Dragon Dance Pokemon and be able to bring in some slower threats that I have on my team, such as this Gigalith or this Probopass to revenge kill things. But one real reason that I really like bringing the Comfey this game is because Giga Drain, which again is priority by the way, I believe did like 60-something% to this Feraligatr. And so this, if I was able to get the Feraligatr a little chipped, even if he was set up with 6 Dragon Dances, I could bring in Comfey and just click Giga Drain and kill it as a revenge killer, because Comfey would always be faster with priority than any of his speed boosts could give him. And similarly with Flapple, right? Depending on what his Terra type was, if he stayed a Dragon type, Draining Kiss does a lot of damage. And he could potentially Terra into something that is either still weak to Fairy. A lot of Flapples like to just go Terra Dragon because he doesn't really get a good Dragon move on the physical side that isn't Outrage, and some people don't like being locked into Outrage, especially when they see a Fairy type like Comfey on my team. So maybe it could be Terra Dragon, or maybe even something weak to Grass, right? So the priority moves here, really good revenge killers for some of those fast mons. Gigalith, I wanted to bring Sandstream with eject button this time as kind of a pivot, right? So I can bring in Gigalith to take a move. Sandstorm will get set up immediately as he hits the field. He'll take a hit, the eject button will force him out, and I can choose what to go into next. So that kind of gives me like a free switch into a tanky mon to take the hit, and then bring in one of my threats to get the positional advantage again. This is just max HP, max attack, 3 attacks and Stealth Rocks, keeping it pretty simple here. The reason I have this setup is to hopefully get in my Sandrush Houndstone for free, which, by the way, this is one of my Terra Captains, so Terra Ghost, Spell Tag, just looking to do a lot of damage with Ghost moves this game. Adamant Nature, right, with Sandrush, doubles my speed. This becomes faster than everything except for, obviously, that Regieleki. And I have Poltergeist, Shadow Sneak, Stomping Tantrum, and I put Howl as my last move because honestly I didn't really have anything better to put. I didn't really need anything like Play Rough for this matchup, so I was like, hey, if I can get a +1 attack boost on a switch somewhere, this thing becomes actually quite a bit more threatening. And finally, Probopass, bringing Terra Grass Weakness Policy this week, max HP, max special defense, with an Iron Defense set, and a couple of a Power Gem and Earth Power to hopefully take advantage of Sand Force. This is most likely going to be my dedicated lead, and I'm going to try and get set up on something. I'll Terra if I need to. The Terra Grass is pretty good into stuff like the Flapple and even the Feraligatr if I get a couple of Iron Defenses up. Like Ice Punch does not do that much, and I've got Pain Split to hopefully heal myself up a little bit and have some longevity. The other nice thing about Sand Force is that if I Terra out of my Rock Steel type into a Grass type, I'm not actually taking the Sandstorm damage either, which is kind of cool. So yeah, this is the team, right? So Probopass hoping to kind of poke some holes into his team early, make him a little uncomfortable, hopefully he procs my weakness policy so I can do some more damage. Gigalith is kind of a pivot, right, just to get into one of my threats on safely, right, and hopefully get into Houndstone with Sandstorm up. Empoleon is essentially my failsafe this week, right? If something gets scary with Dragon Dance and they're not really chipped down, this is what I would bring in, and I would either click a move if they're not set up too much to the point where I can't live an attack, or Endure to make sure I live it so that that red card does proc. Flygon, win condition this week. The other thing about Flygon is that, Regieleki pretty much only has electric and normal moves, so it's kind of a free switch into Flygon whenever I see the Regieleki. Only thing I got to be careful of, though, is that explosion, because I believe it does kill me with certain sets, so I may have to scout for that this game. Comfey, hazard removal, really good revenge killer, and can potentially set up Trick Room so that the Gigalith becomes more threatening in the late game after my eject button's been procced. And Houndstone, really just a breaker in another win condition that I'm hoping gets to shine this week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the team builder, and I will see you guys over when the game starts. I'll hit up BlueFusion now. Alright guys, welcome to the game. CTHBL Season 2, Week 2 against BlueFusion. From first glance, he did bring the two mons I was scared about. The Feraligatr and the Flapple are definitely the two scariest mons on his team, in my opinion. So, not surprised those are here. Otherwise, he brought the Regieleki, which, as I mentioned, the team builder, the Flygon's kind of here for. No Moltres, does bring Diancie, Muck, and Steelix finally. I think Diancie and Steelix are pretty good brings here against the Sandstorm mode I got on my team, because Diancie gets a special defense boost, and Steelix just kind of checks those mons well. Mega Steelix gets Sand Force, but regular Steelix does not, just to keep that in mind. I'm going to stick with my plan. I'm going to lead with my Probopass here and attempt to get up as much damage as I can to start off the game. I'm trying to think here. Regieleki leads. Pretty sure Volt Switch is coming out. Right, just to be honest. Which should do a good amount. Actually, if I'm not Terra, it doesn't even do that much yet, so I might hold off on terastallizing for the time being and just click Iron Defense. He does indeed Volt Switch. That's pretty low damage on the Volt Switch, so maybe not fully specially attack invested. We'll see what he wants to bring in. Oh, this is good. They finally fixed the sprites thing with the code. Okay, so we can see that the Flapple is Terra Ground. And I believe that's the only Terra Captain he brought to the game. Yeah, so Terra Ground Flapple. That's interesting. Okay, so he goes Muck here. I'm actually not going to terastallize, because even if he goes for something like a... What's worst case scenario? Like a Drain Punch? I don't want to get, like, Toxic here, right, is the thing. If he knocks off my weakness policy, that's unfortunate. But, like, even, like, a Drain Punch only does 31% max with the standard defensive Muck. If it's offensive, it doesn't do too much more. So I think I'm just going to hit it with an Earth Power. I mean, it's not going to do too much damage, but it's going to be nice. Chip on it. It really doesn't do much at all. Okay, so it's especially defensive, I gather. And he is Drain Punch. So that's a bit unfortunate. What I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to probably terastallize into Pain Split. Drain Punch just did 40. Yeah, I'm going to terastallize into Pain Split. If he goes for the poison move, well played. Okay, he doesn't. Get some good chip on this Muck. And from here, it's probably AV, right? That's what it is. Be doing that little, and he's doing pretty good damage against me. I don't really want to like get knocked off on anything else. I could potentially use my red card or my eject button tech right now. Do I want to, though? Does this Probopass serve purpose later? I think it could. So I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into the Gigalith and take a Poison Jab well, dodge the poison, which is nice, and I'm going to eject button out. I think my play here is Flygon, because he really doesn't appreciate Earthquake on anything. So this seems pretty free to me, unless he has like an air balloon on something. I'm not going to Dragon Dance up yet. Want to sort of take it easy for the time being. I just think the Probopass has a little bit of merit to save. Because it's a pretty good physical wall into things like the Feraligatr and the Flapple if I get an Iron Defense back up. And now this kind of pins him, right? So him going into Gator here. Him going into Gator here. Like this could just be playing overly cautious, but him going into this here makes me sort of think that he's Scarfed. That's my inkling. I could be reading the situation wrong, but I think Probopass is pretty safe here. I definitely want to save this Flygon because it's a really good win con against this team of 6 that he brought. Especially after if he terras that Flapple into a ground type, he literally has no resistances to Earthquake at all. So I don't want to risk the Scarf Gator here. If he Dragon Dances here, I don't think it's the end of the... Oh, hang on. Okay, I just calc that at +2, so... I don't want to do that. Tell you what, Comfey should be able to take anything this guy does and Giga Drain it to kill it. So I'm gonna go into that. He does Dragon Dance, okay. So kind of glad I ended up thinking that over. And now I can Giga Drain for the kill. He's gonna go into Muck. Fair enough. I think my play is to go into Gigalith. Maybe get my rocks up on this thing. If I remember... Yeah, Blue's team really doesn't have the best hazard removal. It's just Regieleki, with the team of 6 that he brought. I'm gonna assume this is like max attack Assault Vest. I might want to actually just kill this with Earthquake. I don't really want to getting too healthy again. It's kind of a pain in the ass if it does. Yeah, I'm gonna go Gigalith here. I have no item, so knockoff doesn't bug me too much. Poison Touch is unfortunate, but what are you gonna do? Probably just gonna Earthquake here. Yeah, I want to take my kill. This definitely kills. Cool. Probably not gonna be able to get rocks up this game, but that's okay. That's okay. I think I want to keep my Gigalith around for Sandstorm again. For sure. I deduced that Flygon should be pretty safe into this thing. So I'm going to go out into it. I do catch the Volt Switch. And I don't think I want to get too greedy with an Earthquake, or with a Dragon Dance just yet, so I'm going to fire off an Earthquake. He does explode. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of scared about that. I probably should have scouted for it, but oh well, I guess. That's a bit unfortunate. I think now, though, that Regieleki's gone, I get my rocks up. I get my sand up. Well, I try to get my rocks up. Or do I? I think I do. I think this is where I get sand up. For alligator's fine, because again, like, Comfey can come out if he wants to try and get a dragon dance up here. He's just gonna take the kill. That's fine. Okay. Okay, so now the Houndstone gets Sand Rush if I want to bring it in here. And Stomping Tantrum kills, so I don't need to risk missing Poltergeist. So I think I'm going to do that. Also catches the switches a little better. So there's that. Honestly, Steelix, not sure what you want to do. My Sandforce Probopass should be pretty nice into it though. So I'm gonna go into it. I'm hoping I didn't lose my Gigalith too early here. I very well may have. I guess we'll find out. I really want to save my red card in the back. So I'm going to kind of play around Houndstone and Probopass for the time being. Fireball comes out. Get crit, which kind of sucks. I'm going to fire off a Sound Force boosted Earth Power. Should do good damage. Depends on the set here, but Steelix isn't the best special defender in the world. Gator, I would think, should die to this plus Sandstorm, at the very least. So, yeah, brings in Gator, dies to Earth Power plus Sandstorm, nice. Diancie comes out, and here's the funny thing, I was kind of considering Flash Cannon on this thing. I kind of wish I brought it now. That's okay, I'm going to Pain Split, get some of my HP back. He's going to Trick Room, which is interesting. I kind of want to play careful against this to both stall out Trick Room turns, but also be careful about proccing a potential weakness policy, because that would suck. And I kind of just want to whittle this down to potentially revenge it with that special attack drop's a little unfortunate. To revenge it with my Comfey. Are we actually speed tied? I don't know that we are. Get the Pain Split off. Last another turn here. And I think I'm good to let this guy go down. Right? I think so. Yep. That's fine. Yeah. I'm coming and Giga Drain this for the kill. Good. And we'll see what he wants to do now. does bring in Steelix. Which I guess makes sense. Alright, I think here's the play. Hang on. This gets tricky now. Because I want my red card... I kind of wanted this to go the other way, where Flapple came in. I want Empoleon. Can this work? I think it can. Alright, so I think I go into Empoleon here, red card this out, bait Flapple in. Yeah. Force Flapple in. He does read it with the Earthquake, which is a great play. Which I was kind of scared of. I think my play is to Flash Cannon here. It's the best neutral play. Does just take the kill. At this point, though... yeah, I think I probably had to go Houndstone there. Let's see though. I may be able to pull something out. Houndstone versus Flapple. I'm gonna see if I can get a Howl up. I think I have to. See if he swaps Steelix here. The fact that this is a Terra Captain is really complicating things. Unfortunately. See if I get the read right. The Sucker Punch could be the only issue. Well, well, the only reason I want to click Howl here is for the Steelix. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick with my guns. A couple things could happen here, right? This could catch a Sucker Punch. He just grab apples. He's faster too, which really sucks. Okay, that crit is actually pretty big. But I think he just wins with Gyro Ball now. Yeah. I think I fucked up. Ah, shit. Okay, I mean... Flapple's dead to Draining Kiss. Regardless of this, yeah. I don't think there's any smart thing I can do, unfortunately. But pray for crits. I don't think that doesn't do me any good in the long run. 31%. Yeah, it's not going to be enough unless I get a crit here. It's the only way. Nope. Damn. Alright, well, GG to Blue. Definitely could have played that a little better, I think. Yeah, I really need to think about that. That end game was really tricky, actually. I didn't think about that Steelix being the one to clean out the game. I think I was just scared of the Flapple. I guess Houndstone was my most expendable Mon in that end game. Right? It was where was it? When my Empoleon got earthquaked, that was really bad. I was kind of hoping to catch a Gyro Ball there, to be honest with you, but I think what I had to do here was go into Houndstone. Let me see. Probably going to Houndstone. Houndstone takes whatever hit he throws at me pretty well, and then Poltergeist is pretty free. Yeah, the Empoleon was just a little risky, because it was a 3v2. I definitely should have had that. That's okay, though. Great game to Blue. He played really well. Yeah, I think if I go Houndstone on that Earthquake, then it's just going to be Flapple and Steelix against my 3 Mons. Houndstone still being pretty healthy. Yeah, I think that definitely would have won me the game in hindsight. It's just really tough with those tight end games. I was really kind of trying to get the Flapple out of the way there, I guess. But I guess that turned into being a bit of an over-prediction. So, yeah, again, GG's to Blue. Unfortunately, we couldn't take the win on this one, but it was only a 1-0, so differential-wise, I guess not the end of the world. Hope you guys enjoyed watching anyway. Appreciate any of you guys that are, supporting the content and enjoying my commentary and my side of things. Hopefully it's kind of fun to listen to. I don't really know, but yeah, thanks again, guys, and I'll see you guys for the next battle. Bye.